Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Grow Up Online Choices and welcome to the class of Revise Your Concepts through Previous Year Question Papers. This is the part 2 of this series. We previously make a video on part 1. If you have missed that video, please go to the playlist of Grow Up Online Choices and you may find that part 1. Okay. In this series of videos, we are going to discuss about the previous questions through concepts. First of all, revise the concepts first and then able to understand the given question and how to solve the given question. I hope this series is very useful to you. Due to the health concern, these days any video will not be uploaded in the upcoming days. The schedule will be as usual. Okay, in this video we are going to discuss what we learn to answer this question, this organic question. So which concepts you have to know to answer this question? First of all, the first concept you have to know that what happens when ketones reacts with ketones reacts with ketones is reacted with cyanides, and what happened. And second concept is that we previously in this we covered what happens when cyanides is reacted with water, that means a hydrolysis. And second point is that what will be the product when acid is reacted with alcohols. Acid is reacted with alcohols. And third one and last one is important point is when ester is reacted with Grignard reagent. Here this reagent is called this reagent. This is the one of the most important reagent in organic chemistry, that is Grignard reagent. This will be called as an Grignard reagent. I hope aware of this Grignard reagent. And what will happen when this this Grignard reagent is reacted with esters? What will be the products? Now let us try to understand these three concepts. The first one, second, and third one. You can easily answer this 33 question from organic chemistry. Now let us try to understand the given question carefully. So inbuilt the mechanism is also present. Okay, the first point. The first one. Okay, to explain these concepts, you can take this question. Okay, the first. Now let us try to draw the given question. Here bond Cl and C double bond O bond CH3. Okay, what will be happens when this reacted with hydrogen cyanides? Here is the sodium cyanides, that is NaCN and H3 plus hydrolysis. Now let us try to understand the given question. Here, when the aldehyde was this is keto. Why? Because the functional group here present. If there is in CH3 group a hydrogen is present, this will be called as aldehyde. But we observed that the adjacent groups of adjacent for the carbonyl compound C double bond, where we observe that two carbons are present. That way, this will be considered as a ketone. In organic reactions, you have to point out that the reagent which is present on this line is react to only one part of the reagent. So the other parts will not be affected. You have to keep in mind that it's a point is very very important with respect to exam point of view. Why? Because this reagent what is present on this line is affect only one part of the reagent. The remaining part will remains the same. So when this part we categorize this, okay, now let us Na, this is divided as Na plus and Cn minus. So we know that C double bond O, here carbon is present. The carbon and oxygen compare the electronegativity, it convert its direction is towards to oxygen side. Its direction towards to oxygen side. So this is having the partial negative charge. This is carbon having the partial positive charge. So this Cn minus attack this positive charge. Okay, bond O Cl, and we observe that C minus bond CH3 as usual, and we observe that C triple bond and cyano group is attached on it. And we observed in the given reagent acetic acid. By acetic acid is dissociated as CH3CO minus and H plus. This H plus is attracted by H minus. So the product will be cyanohydrins. The remaining, what we observe, that the remaining part is retains its position, same position. The only effect of this is ketone group is affected. So the remaining one is retains its position. So C bond OH bond CH3 bond C triple bond N. So what are the products here? When cyanohydrins, when sodium cyanide is reacted with ketone, the products are cyanohydrins. The products are cyanohydrins. Here are these products. This type of ones is we call it as cyanohydrins. Okay, I hope the first question is clear to you. The first one, ketones is reacted to form the cyanohydrins. Ketones reacted to form the cyanohydrins are formed. Now let us try to understand how acids are produced from cyanohydrins. So this cyanohydrin produced here, this will react with the water. This will react with water. That means a hydrolysis. Whenever cyanide undergo hydrolysis, the product. Okay, now let us try to the cyanide will becomes acid. The converted to acid. Now let us try to understand this concept here. Okay, here see triple bond N, and we have to take three water molecules. Water is dissociated as H plus and OH minus. For example, if this bond is break, OH and H plus. If this bond is broken, OH and H. Here also OH and H. So we observe that ammonia gas is liberated out and C bond OH, bond OH, bond OH. Any group, any carbon or any element having the three OH groups, it is highly unstable and removes as water molecule. So it produces the C double bond OH. Acids are produced. Acids are produced. I hope this mechanism is clear to you. How when cyanide is reacted with undergo hydrolysis, how acid is produced. So in place of C triple bond N, acid will be produced. Now let us try to draw the structure. Bond Cl, bond C bond OH, bond CH3, bond C double bond O, bond OH. So acid is produced. Okay. The last step is here we observe the second one is also second one. Acid is produced, and what will happens when this acid is reacted with alcohol? So here is the ethyl alcohol and H plus. Now let us try to understand this concept. So ethyl alcohol plus H plus. Okay. Here we know that lone pair of electrons are present. If this donates one of its lone pair, it will become CH2 plus plus. Okay. So the water molecule will be removed. So here oxygen having the here positive charge. It is removed as a H2O. So carbon having the carbon forms a carbocation. This carbocation here the reagent having the lone pair donates one of its lone pair to this carbocation. So the product will be Cl bond C bond OH bond CH3 bond C double bond O bond C2H5. Ethyl alcohol will be written as a C2H5. So we observe that this product is called ester. So we have to keep in mind that we have to keep in mind that when alcohol, when alcohols is reacted with, when alcohols is reacted with acids, form the esters. Forms the esters are produced. Now let us try to understand the one of the most important, that is Grignard reagent. How Grignard reagent act? What is the use of a Grignard reagent? Here CH3 Mg. Here what is present here? 2 moles of Me means methyl CH3 Mg CH3 MgBr, methyl magnesium bromide. Methyl magnesium bromide. Before going to discuss about what will happen when Grignard reagent react with ester. Now let us try to understand what does meant by Grignard reagent and what is the use of this reagent. When aldehydes or ketones react with the Grignard reagent, it produces the alcohols. It produces the alcohols. Now let us try to understand its mechanism. For example, if you take C double bond O, for esters, it requires a 2-methyl alcohol, 2 Grignard reagent. For acids, for aldehydes or ketones, okay, C double bond O on CH3. Here the first one is aldehyde. Here the first one is aldehyde and second one is ketone. This will react with 1 mole of magnesium bromide. We know that magnesium is a metal, so it easily lost the electron, so it acquires the positive charge. So automatically this one is negative charge. So this is a highly electron deficient. This negative charge attack on this side, and this bond is shifted towards this side minus. So we convert it as a C bond hydrogen bond O minus, and this minus is attracted by MgBr and CH3 group, as well as this will react with this on hydrolysis. H3O plus hydrolysis, this bond is breakdown and the hydrogen is attacked, bond OH bond hydrogen bond CH3. So we observe that alcohols are produced. We observe that alcohols are produced. That means we concluded that when aldehydes, ketones, esters undergo reaction with Grignard reagent, it forms the alcohols. It forms the alcohols. But here case is that here the case will be esters. So to convert ester to alcohol, it requires 2 Grignard reagent. So generally, when an ketone or aldehyde react with Grignard reagent, it required only one Grignard reagent to convert it to alcohols. But when you use the esters, it required two Grignard reagents. Okay, now let us try to understand what will happen when we take one Grignard reagent. So totally two required. Now let us use the first one and what will be the product. So here is the first one. So we previously Mg plus and minus. This is the electron deficient, that means electrophile, so positive charge. So this CH3 minus attack on this carbon and Mg plus attack on this minus. So we have to observe that the remain part, the aromatic part, retains its same position. So bond OH, bond CH3, bond C bond O minus Mg plus Br, and next one is OC2H5. Here CH3 group. Okay, if this bond is if this the carbon oxygen bond, we observe that oxygen having the electronegativity. That's why this bond between carbon and oxygen is shifted towards the oxygen side. So here again having the positive charge. That means carbocation is produced. So now let us try to use the second one. Okay. Okay, positive plus negative double bond is, so it the product is CH3O minus and MgBr. This is the removed one. So the product formed here is Cl bond C bond OH bond CH3 bond C double bond O bond CH3. So we observed that ketone from ester by using of 1 mole of Grignard reagent, ester is converted to ketone. Ester is converted to ketone. Now let us try to understand what will happen when use the second mole. Here we have to observe that this is the second mole. So we previously know that by using of when ketone is reacted with the Grignard reagent, it forms the alcohols. We can directly draw the alcohol here. C bond OH bond CH3 bond C bond OH bond CH3 and another CH3 from this Grignard reagent, and the CH3 from this Grignard reagent. This is the final product of the given question. This is the final product of the given question. Now let us try to identify the given answer in the following. Here three methyl groups are present. This is not the correct answer. Two alcohols and two methyl groups. Here we observe that two alcohols and two methyl groups. So our answer is B is our correct answer. So in this video we conclude that when to now let us try to understand recap what we'll discuss in this video are we discuss about how ketones is react to cyanohydrins, cyanide, and cyanohydrins is produced. What will the products when cyanide is undergo hydrolysis? And second one, what will happens when acid is reacted with alcohol? And the third one is and esters, how esters are converted to alcohols by using of Grignard reagent. Here we observe that two Grignard reagents are used to convert esters to alcohols. I hope this video is clear to you. Thank you and all the best. Please share with your friends and family members and please do subscribe for more videos and updates. Thank you and all the best.